In three, two, one. Welcome to Show Me Your News, the pinnacle for delivering and debating the gaming news that matters the most to you.
Rumor-filled gossip, hardware blunders, or upcoming releases. If it relates to video games, we want to talk about it.
I am Yoko, and I am glad that it's a 3-day weekend.
Whoop. I'm Tony, and it's the earliest I've been awake in a long time.
And Super's not here. We were really excited to have, Super on right from the get-go of this show. He's having car johns. First, strippers sit on his 3DS. Then his car breaks down and almost tries to kill
He,
him.
he did tell me he's not getting his Pikachu one back.
Oh.
I got one and he doesn't. Yay!
Just don't go to any strip clubs, and
Very
you'll be
much so.
good. With it, of course. Just go on your own, whatever. I don't care.
What if they have the Street Pass puzzle pieces?
In their G strings, right there.
Yeah.
We are part of the Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com. And our top stories today for episode 135 of the podcast on Saturday, May 25th, 2013. The Xbox One is official. It's the Xbox One. And we'll talk about the names and all the different choices that they made with that one. And we're going to hope that Super can join us mid-show because he has a very interesting opinion on this system, which is pretty contrary to everything on the internet about it. A Nintendo Direct was recent for May 17th. They talked about a few things. Their pre-E3 show or something like that. And we'll also talk about an issue with them and what their relationship now is with certain YouTube videos. EA did something remarkable for once. They got rid of the online pass. We'll talk about that and how surprising it is and what it means for the industry. The hilarity of the week, people are using Miiverse, and older gamers are kind of, shocked at what it's being used for. We got the story pool. We've got some, soapboxes, and we'll end the show, rather, with our 50 E3 yes or no questions. That's going to be a fun one. We have our contest that we do for E3. The past couple years, we'll have a Skype call-in show. But first, you have to answer some questions simply with yes or no. No guests today. It's a packed show today. We got to get ready for a big show in 2 weeks. How are you doing, Tony?
I'm good. Did Super just join?
Did he? Oh,
I'm right over here.
Oh, right on time. Look at that. You missed your
You just
intro.
made me read your intro part. I'm pissed.
How many times did he have to do it?
Just once.
Just once. Well, you are Super, and what would you fill in the blank with?
I am hungry.
Hungry. For a car?
Yes, for a car.
I was telling the people, since you just joined, that, with your 3DS Johns and your car Johns, I mean, it's been rough for you.
Been having a hell of a month.
Yeah. Well, hope it's going to turn around for you, though.
Yeah,
Sure.
hopefully. Looking for a car right now. Gotta go to
Anyone
work.
has a car in the Michigan area.
There you go. Well, you are also looking forward to the Xbox One.
I am.
You go
The
first.
name of the new Xbox system. I want you to, with your very interesting opinion on it, which is pretty contrary to the online
internet.
thoughts.
I
that
feel like
is
I don't
en
need to
masse.
say anything. I hate it. Super go.
I want to hear your opinion on this.
Number one, I think it's a pretty solid system from what I've seen. And I'm treating it not so much as a gaming system right now, but as this is fantastic for not only Microsoft because they get to play damage control until E3, where they get to show off their 15 games that they're promising. But number one, everyone just went out and bought Wii U's.
Oh, I
They
know,
did.
right?
Isn't it kind of funny how I saw so many people that just said, "Oh, I was trolling the Wii U boards a couple days ago. Now it's looking pretty good, and I want one."
hmm
I really
Yeah.
want one too. I mean, I did want one, and this one kind of made me want one more. But
And all of the features on the Xbox One I like so far. Like all the things that they like, hey, look at this. I like all those things. I mean, I'm not a sports guy. I don't do fantasy leagues, but my brothers do, and I know that's important to them. So, like, I see the importance to a lot of people, and these people also play games. I love the multiple suspension, suspend internet and suspend games and suspend TV, all these different things you can do, and then swap back to on the fly. Fantastic all around. I've been waiting for something like that since I picked up the 3DS and saw that they had a suspend function that was nigh useless.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm going to suspend my game. I can look to see who's online. Can't send them a message though. Can't ask them if they want to play a game.
Does Wii
I'll
U
go.
work any differently, Yoko? It's the only one that has one.
Well, I haven't used it extensively for multiplayer purposes, but it's better because it has actually the power to kind of do something like that.
I mean, Xbox was always the best with that kind of function because with PlayStation you could tell who's playing what, but I liked in Xbox you could tell like what room they were in and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and the party system worked better on Xbox.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Although, why
And,
did
you
they
know,
get rid of
I-
Netflix Party? Let's be real.
Yeah,
That was the
that-
biggest shame of this generation for Xbox.
Yeah, that was. But I like the fact that you only need one gold account per household now for Xbox One. And yeah, you still have to pay for it, but I've been on record saying that I don't mind paying for it.
That's good for you, buddy.
It's $60 a year if you buy it stupid.
That's a new game every year that you don't buy.
$50 for PS Plus and a ton of games for free.
Whoop-de-doo. I don't really play PlayStation games. I don't really play. I mean, like from what I see on the Xbox One, is something that I will use. I'll use Skype calls during a movie or a game or anything like that. And I will use the TV function because I'll probably be like, man, I just completed a chapter. Let's go watch some SpongeBob. I don't know. I don't really watch TV, but still.
Xbox.
Xbox
Watch
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Xbox.
Xbox.
Or however you
Man,
sound.
I liked what I saw, and I can't believe the internet sometimes is like, well, it didn't show any games. I'm like, yeah, well, they're trying to be a multimedia system now that does gaming rather than a gaming that does multimedia. Either way, E3, we're going to see 15 games at the very least. First party IP games.
I doubt they're going to show everyone at E3. Remember,
Maybe.
they did say 15 in the first year.
Right.
That doesn't mean they're
But
going to show everyone at E3. So I don't know. Don't get your hopes up for that one.
Giants. Not the giant, but I think they might mention them or name drop some of them. Like this, we're going to release this game and this game. Well, what are those? They're our new one of our IPs.
Like
I think that's
Rise
what-
that they showed 3 years ago as Codename Kingdoms, and then that didn't happen for Xbox.
I'm gonna
Disconnect
call this.
sucks.
They said that they were going to announce an old Rare franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be Killer Instinct. That's my guess.
Pretty strong.
By the way, I'm pretty sure in the last episode I said that the Xbox was gonna go the multimedia way and not show any games at the conference, so I did it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
Anything else you want to get out there for the positive spin?
I like what I saw. I mean, I know there's a bunch of rumors flying around the internet, and that's kind of what they are right now. Is there rumors like everyone's reporting like this is fact, everyone's saying it is, and I'm just like, I'm pretty sure if everyone's saying it is, it might most likely isn't, or if
What
it is,
specifically?
Yeah. Please. Yeah.
some of the used game DRM like.
Oh, that's confirmed.
Or the visual DRM, like if they see too many people in the room watching a movie, it'll jack up the price.
I don't think we've seen that be
I
actually
haven't seen that.
confirmed, but that's been talked about because it's a
Yeah.
patent they do have.
Yes, yeah, they have a patent.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some patents that will never.
Sony's
see the
got
light
a
of
bunch
day.
of stupid patents too.
Right.
Yeah. These are
But
things that might never see the light of day, and I'm going to go ahead and guess that a lot of this bad PR might be, good for Microsoft in the fact that, you know what, we're getting a lot of bad flack for this. We might need to change something before it goes,
I hope so.
I understand your spin saying that, oh guys, it's still rumors and all that, putting yourself in denial. Okay, I'll give you that. It wouldn't be as much of a problem if Microsoft knew how to handle their PR. There
Yeah.
were so many mixed messages throughout the company that this is the place you debut the system. This is the place where you make all those clear. And sure, okay, maybe you can save some of them for E3, but don't start contradicting yourself with different people in the company. Get the message straight. Also, don't take a sarcastic tone from a GameSpot writer and then promote it as if it's what she actually said. If you're not sure what I'm referring to, there's I think her name is Carolyn Pettit from GameSpot, not GameStop, but GameSpot, and she said something like that. Oh, when I was watching TV, I thought, this is so hard. Now I don't have to do that anymore. Thanks, Xbox One. Like, they took that tweet and then marketed it like, Xbox One is so great because people think this. Disregard the sarcasm at all. I mean, because they've marketed this horribly, and that's part of the problem, I think. Sure, people are pissed about some of the, different, features, and that might not be what they want in this game system. But maybe if Microsoft was competent in how to market the system when they reveal it, or get their PR message clear and concise and unified, then it wouldn't be so much of a cluster F.
With all the rumors floating around before this press conference, for them to not even bring up any of the bad things, any of the qualms, any of the fears.
You had one job.
What do you think that says for these rumors? If they're not even going to be like, dude, we're not doing any of that. That would have fixed everything.
I don't know.
All right.
Well, I'd rather than not bring it up.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I mean, some of the things, like, let's go through some of the things.
You talked about it a bit on your little special, which I did listen to.
Right. Oh, thank you.
And how, like, Super, you're saying the sports thing is, like, good for people who like sports. Yoko hates it.
I don't care.
You don't care? You don't do fantasy?
I host a sports podcast. I do fantasy. I have a freaking smartphone.
Yep.
I want my screen to be full with the sports action. I don't want to watch replays that take me away from live action. I can look things up on my phone, which, guess what? They have apps that update automatically. You want to do Smart Glass? Smart Glass that shit. I don't need my screen to be pinching and pulling and taking that up. I want to watch the game in real time and then use my second screen device to check on that.
I feel like that would be an annoyance for the other people that would come over to watch the game with you.
Yeah.
Oh, good, you got points.
I mean, yeah, if everyone's going to watch their own, track their own team, they're going to use their own devices.
Not everyone has a smartphone.
Mm-hmm. And if you could do that with Smart Glass, there's the Smart Glass app on iPhone. There's also that on Android, and I'm sure Windows.
Well, I'm just saying.
That.
That's what I'm literally saying is not everyone has a smartphone. I don't have a smartphone.
If they're getting all this other crap, they have a smartphone.
Well,
that's true.
No.
If you're,
here's the thing. You probably have. I would be exceptionally surprised
if you're getting a $500 console.
If you couldn't switch off the live feed on TV, where it scrunches your video up so it can show you the slide where your points are updating, you could probably turn that off.
Right.
Or just not sync it up with your Xbox. Either one.
Then I just watch it on TV.
And then Smart Glass, and then you have your Smart Glass or you have your app on your phone.
I don't need my DVR to pass through my Xbox then.
Here's the thing. There are people without that smartphone, though. Some people just don't care for smartphones. Some people don't want to, have the trouble of doing a data plan. I know my uncle. He has all the money in the world. He uses a phone even more ancient than mine.
I understand that, but they're right now catering this to kind of a higher class of person who's able to spend money on tech when they expect the internet to be constantly connected or once every 24 hours without problems with that. They're not going for the people who are out in the boonies in America or something like that. And then when these services are America specific, mind you, so far, like they haven't talked about what they're doing for Canada or Europe.
You saying that they're not worried about people with without tech? I think they pretty much said it wasn't going to ship with only HD cables too.
Yeah. Like
no standard def cables.
Yeah. I think it only has an HDMI port. It doesn't even have a component.
I mean, you can't just say sports, they show sports and then every sports fan will love it.
What's that NFL deal?
That's part of it
I do want to know about that.
It was the vaguest piece of crap ever, and I'm hearing the voice that's Roger Goodell, that's commissioner of the NFL. Oh, this should be good. And then they said nothing. It'll
Football,
be for the players and the coaches, they'll get something
I'm not
out of it.
defending the sports. I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying that these, like, the options for, like, some of the things that you said were this stretching the screen and taking up all that stuff. You can turn that off.
Yeah, but
Here's
But
the thing.
your Kinect still has to be connected.
features, why would you
I
buy
don't really
things
care about
with
the Kinect
features you
thing.
can turn off?
You can probably turn a lot of the features or the things that you don't like off, but they are there for the people who want them.
Well, that's not a lot of people judging
But
by
it's still people, and there is something called, some people just being okay with it, but as soon as you say that, I'm actually looking forward to it, you got some people who are trying to jump down your throat and tell you that you're wrong.
I'm not saying. Okay, how do I put this? I'm not saying like for you who enjoys those features that you
I
shouldn't be
think they're
by all
cool
means get
features.
them.
I'm never gonna use them. But the Skype thing, I think that's cool. I don't see what the problem was with that. And the suspend feature, I think that's cool. I'll use that. I'll probably use that.
Yeah, the
The
suspend feature
thing
will be
is,
great.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying is that I'm going to buy an Xbox One just yet. I want to see the games. That's why I'll buy an Xbox One. But from what I see of the
Hey,
system,
by
I think to myself,
X-Bone.
yeah, I think to myself, that's a pretty solid piece of hardware.
oh
I
no
kinda like it.
question.
I kind of like it, but I'm not gonna buy it yet until it shows me games, and I'm kind of patient about that. I'll wait towards E3 where they kind of focus on the games. I mean, hell,
It didn't last year.
we got through that conference without an Usher concert. I think I'm gonna
Count that as a win. No, I mean I don't deny that it's an impressive piece of tech, but I think just the marketing decisions, the message that they've conveyed, and how mixed it is, and then some of the decisions that follow, have been less than stellar.
Oh yeah, the marketing's been awful, but I'm just looking at the tech and looking at the capabilities of the system, and I'm going, I like that. Show me what you can do with it at E3.
Well, I mean, let's look at the different parts of the reveal conference first. I mean, when you mentioned the Skype.
We didn't pay super off to argue with us, by the way. I don't get it either.
No, right? That's why we needed him on this show. Like, otherwise, it would have just been a trash fest. It would have been ugly.
We've been joining everyone else on the internet.
As far as the Skype thing, I totally agree with you. It'll be interesting to see how it works with the Skype calling and just basically be an improved video connect. However, and this goes back to the mixed marketing, and this very well might be something where they trip up. They mention group video calls. And when you say group video call in the context of Skype, this means more than one person. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This is something that you have to pay premium on Skype on your computer for. To have group video calls, video conferencing.
Right.
But yet, they only showed a 1v1 call, if you will. So, I'm a little worried that, even though you're paying for this Xbox Live Gold membership, probably have to use Skype in conjunction with that they say group video calls, and then it won't really be group video calls.
Yep.
Like that's
So what you're
that's
saying
my
is
concern.
that you're going to need a Skype premium account to use the group video calls?
Yes, and that's what they're not telling you.
Yeah.
Like that's my concern.
I'm going to go ahead and say you're probably right on the ball on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Mixed
It's the same with
messages.
Netflix, same with Hulu Plus. You're going to have both the Xbox Live Gold and that's not something that I particularly enjoy about the Microsoft system, but whatever. Money.
Maybe they'll lighten up a little bit on some of that stuff. At least Netflix, for God's sake.
Hopefully.
I'd agree with you, especially since they got rid of the Netflix party system.
Oh yeah.
That was basically the only reason they had to keep those things tied together.
I would gladly pay the full $60 if that were still around. No joke. Like that was a great feature.
I am wondering maybe if we'll see the return of that feature on the One.
You hope, yeah.
Because I recall them saying they brought it down because something with their servers wasn't going over well.
Yeah, when they talk about doubling their server size, I mean,
Yeah.
and they make a point to do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe with the entire Xbox Live infrastructure overhaul, which is one of the reasons why the Netflix party was dropped because it wasn't working well with their systems or something. I think it was like total resource hog and destroying their servers in a sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But then you're adding like up to 1,000 friends now and all these other revamped stuff. I
So
also
if I
really
had-
like the new Kinect actually, because if you think about it, the old Kinect, it's junk. It doesn't work when it's not lit well.
It's kind of sad
It's-
if you bought one though now because
Yes.
it would only have like a 2-year lifespan.
Yep. But I mean, you think about it. It didn't work well in lights. It needed a lot of space, and it was only a 640 by 360 resolution or 480 or whatever. Really crappy, and then it just didn't work that well. A lot of reports from the conference, and then when you look at the specs, like the 1080p camera and 30 frames per second and the wide angle lens, so people were saying like they were an arm's length away from touching the Kinect, and it was still picking up their full body. Like, that's great. It works well in darkness now. It has like a night vision sort of thing on it. And I don't, the whole thing about being able to pick up the heartbeat, and when you read about it, it's actually based off of the change in a person's face color. That sometimes it's even not discernible by the eye, like, but the Kinect can pick it up, and that judges your heart rate based off of that. That's pretty cool. I mean, better than vitality sensor or something like that. So there's a lot of potential, and the people who are testing it out there were having a lot of positive results. So if they're going to roll with the Kinect, like, that's good tech behind it. It's going to make it more expensive. It also kind of sucks that it's connected to the system at all times, needs it to function, have to have it, and it's going to be on at all times basically because it's going to be waiting for that Xbox on. So that's kind of creepy as far as privacy and all that, but as far as the tech itself, it looks to be very impressive. And then they're bringing it to PC later this year too, so
I like the whole PC bit.
yeah. Yeah, you think what they can do with mods, it's going to be pretty interesting.
Everyone playing first Minecraft with their own hands.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I was
The number
excited
of
about
monitors with holes in them will rise.
Yeah, absolutely. I was excited about EA Sports Ignite, and I was hoping they'd show more, not a CG trailer and saying we'll see more at E3. Like,
Square.
I mean, I played EA Sports games growing up. Like, that was my jam. Like, that was what I grew up on sports. I know I'm not like NES, Super Nintendo, like EA Sports games. That was what I grew up on basically. And so see that, like,
We've been playing the same Mario game over and over again. I guess that's
I guess so. Yeah.
more or less better.
Well, to see like new potential and all that, and then they're further along than they are last console gen when they showed like a really crazy good Madden trailer, and then totally did not live up to the expectations.
I don't have to worry about developing for a less powerful Nintendo console anymore.
Right. Yeah, let's go listen to that soapbox I had on that one. I'm excited to see what they actually have in terms of gameplay and not just, CG trailers that are trying to emulate what it can do. So I was really excited to hear that, but then it didn't really deliver. Let's see, the Quantum Break game from Remedy. Can anyone explain what that is?
Live action girl and then a boat crashed.
Yes. That was about right. Yep. Boats.
I mean, I saw people like,
For sure.
I'm excited for that. I want to see more. I'm like, what the hell is it about?
Yeah, that's why they want.
Can anyone answer that?
So they can figure. As far as I can figure, it's all about time travel, and not so much time travel as in like moving things.
Where'd you get that? Did you see a TARDIS?
No, it's from the.
Oh,
name.
that's right. Tony's dropping the Doctor Who up in here.
Yeah.
No, it's about the little girl who, I mean, from what I gathered, the little girl has the ability to change things, so they
Space
can
manipulation and all that.
Yeah. So the whole quantum thing, quantum physics, stuff like that. You look at if you look away for a second, or quantum physics. I don't really want to
Schrodinger's cat?
I
Don't know.
guess
Yeah.
it's just kind of like certain particles behave differently when they're being observed, when they're not, and when they're not being observed.
Mm-hmm. Play Zero Escape Virtue's last reward. You'll get your fill of quantum.
That makes that quote make a lot more sense than the end.
Oh yeah.
Time is which the fire that we all burn or whatever.
Time
Yes.
is the fire
I
in
will
which we
say,
burn.
like, I think some people are just excited because that developer is good. I
Yeah.
played a bit of Alan Wake and it was a fun little game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And
what the
think
hell
that's
was going
we're
on.
gonna see, is that we're going to see spatial manipulation and temporal manipulation in that game. to cause giant accidents or prevent them.
All right, Super, your thoughts. Halo, the television series.
I don't care yet. I haven't seen anything from Forward On to Dawn yet.
Good
I
for
keep on
you.
meaning to.
I'm impressed.
What?
I
just don't
think
care.
I would not be surprised if Halo people saw that and they're like, "Yay, Halo! All is forgiven." And then they showed nothing. They talked about nothing. A lot of this was just
Spielberg.
This is happening. It's a bunch of nothing. Spielberg. I saw a Dorkly comic, and it was a lot of what they told us, what will actually happen. For the Halo television series, it was portrayed in comic form as, "Oh, Spielberg, he did the Lincoln and Jurassic Park and all this stuff," and then what'll actually happen to be like, "Oh yeah, Spielberg's only a producer and he's done these TV series like Terra Nova and what's the one on TNT, Falling Skies or whatever," and they get like 60s.
Tiny Toons.
They get like 60 somethings on Metacritic, live action TV.
Yeah.
So when they say from Steven Spielberg, it's like, is it a director or is it just he's producing it, funding the money and all?
Right. From what I see about this, I just kind of lean back and go, "Tell me what you mean."
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. That's what it is. It's just kind of like when you say Halo TV series, you could pick any point in the franchise
Yep.
of a TV series off of. I'm gonna need to know where and when. Am I looking at a pre-Covenant war? Am I looking at the wars with the Separatists? Or am I looking past the Halo 3 franchise? Am I looking between Reach and Halo 1 with the human side? Am I going to see Spartans?
That are
There
9
is a
feet tall.
hell.
Are they just
Yeah.
gonna jump around each week?
There's a hell of a lot to the Halo universe that is only hinted in the game sometimes. Depends on when, or only hinted in the main story of the games. You can find a whole bunch about them and just the entire history of the thing just by looking for the Easter eggs and stuff like that. But that's a different story. And then there's the books and all that.
Yeah, the
But
whole
just
lore
saying
and
that there's a
Bible.
new Halo TV series makes me go, and?
Yeah.
Out? Are you going to screw it up? Are you going to fly in the face of the books that people really hold dear because a lot of those are really good? Although if you are going to read the one about Onyx, I would imagine you should get the audio version, not the book.
Go, Onyx!
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what they mean.
Yes,
so.
that is it. It's a giant rock planet, so
Yes.
he's evolved. He went from Onyx to Steelix back to Onyx again, but this time he's black.
Whoa.
Is Steelix steel rock or is he just steel?
Yeah, he's steel rock.
Steel
No,
ground.
he's steel.
Steel ground.
Steel ground?
Yeah, because
Oh,
he's
okay.
weak to water.
Oh, good.
yeah.
I didn't know that. I could always throw fire out there and get my ass reamed. I got a alligator just sitting in
there you
the
go.
bleachers like, dude, put me in.
Surf, let's go.
Yeah, right.
Gonna ride
The
the
best-
wave.
Let's talk about the best part of the show, and you know where it's going. The Call of Duty dog.
Dog.
Yes. That dog.
They put mocap on a dog.
Yes, they did.
Congratulations, Internet. You win for all the dog jokes. The Call of Duty Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Wuggle's Twitter picture right now is the dog.
yep. Pretty fantastic. Just they're gonna kill the dog. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
They're
probably.
totally gonna kill the dog.
Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking plot.
Don't kill the dog. They're gonna kill the dog.
We're gonna make
Dog
you have an
is the only one to
emotional,
get through.
just an emotional connection with him. He's gonna be a member of your team. And there's this big bad Russian probably. He's going to come up to you and he's going to shoot the dog.
Going
And
to
what
my-
do you have now? You have nothing without your dog.
And then I have a slow motion cutscene where I very slowly point my gun at him.
Yeah. Or you throw a knife, whatever.
And then the dog will be drumming in the Avenged Sevenfold concert after the credits.
God
Yes.
damn it.
I can't wait for you to talk about that because I was watching it and I didn't really understand what was going on.
It's terrible, but that's for a soapbox.
No, that's for what are you playing? Or
Well,
maybe
that too. I've got it in my soapbox right here, so
Oh, neat. I didn't look that far down.
nice. But yeah, Call of Duty dog. I mean, Ghosts looks remarkably better than Modern Warfare 3. I'll
My
give
favorite
it
thing
that.
about the Call of Duty dog is like this is our reaction to the conference. Our jaws drop and then slowly rising back into our mouths.
It's a pretty good,
Mhm.
consolidation right there.
Like the only jaw that dropped during the conference too.
Did you
I've seen a
hear the
few.
rumors about, all that applause that it was all Microsoft employees standing behind all the journalists?
They said the applause wasn't real. I've
Yeah.
seen so much funny stuff. I've seen
Well,
that
no, it was
people
real. It was just manufactured by Microsoft employees.
people who are watching through their Xboxes with Connect hooked in, whenever
Oh
the
yeah.
dude said Xbox menu, it
Oh
would
gosh,
take them out of the
so
stream.
funny. So funny. Like,
hmm
you can't make that stuff up. Ah,
Probably one of the most amusing things about the conference.
yeah.
I agree.
Was there anything else that? Well, let's talk about some of the rumors slash facts that have popped up. I understand that they're trying to limit piracy and all that, but let's not take a Steam digital distribution model of tying a game to your account and apply it to retail games. Or then at least if you're like, oh, we have plans to, trade in used games or all that stuff, don't be vague about it. At least, you're going to tell us at E3, aren't you? Aren't you?
Microsoft.
Microsoft, like, are you going to do that? Because to buy the game at full retail price again for a second account, not cool, bro.
hmm
At
So
least, maybe make the migration of the account easier. If you're going to go over to your friend's house and you want to play the game on your Xbox Live account, don't have it take a few minutes. If everything's from the cloud, just sign in, boom, and go. At least that's the
Yeah.
hope. But will
I
they
don't
do that?
know. So do you have to have the account on the Xbox more or less? Can the other
Pretty
person
much.
play it?
Well, you have to be signed into the account that the license is tied to.
That's really dumb. Because what if there's just a family with like two Xboxes? Son buys the game, dad can't play the game on his Xbox.
I think they were trying to say that there was talks about that, a family could play it on the system as long as it's on the system. But again, it's the mixed messages. It's not clear. They don't have their shit together
Yeah.
with the message. So it's hard to say.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's actually, that's probably one of the worst things I've seen from this is the fact that you can't really bring it over to a friend's house without your profile.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'd shrug these things off, but this one was particularly like, what? Seriously?
Solid Snake saying it's not for two systems in a family, it's just the account. And I'm pretty sure that's what I read too.
Mm-hmm.
And they have come out and said that, yeah, it's like $35 if you buy it used.
It
Mhm.
depends.
I'm sure GameStop's pissed too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to work out a deal with them behind the scenes, but we're not sure. Hey, Tony, how about those indie games?
What indie games?
Good
For,
answer.
For Nintendo's reached out to them a little bit. PS4 is aggressively like, hey, make stuff for us. Xbox is like, nah, people can't just sign up.
Well, you could. You just have to probably pay a few $1,000s for,
Mm.
system license and the rights and all that stuff.
PS4, at the very least, I feel like it's going to go the way of all of these consoles and probably not have a launch title. At the very least, it'll have all those indie titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the very least, which I think is very smart on their part.
Mm-hmm. No,
But-
you're right. That's
Xbox isn't going after them.
to be the one that doesn't, reach out to indie gamers. It's not a good sign for the future. Achievements seem to carry over, and they say a new generation, but again, they weren't very clear. So, not sure. Backwards compatibility, nope. Actually, not surprised because it's a whole new architecture and all that stuff. Just like the shift from PS3 with the cell architecture to PS4 with the x86
What?
computer. It kind of sucks that, your games won't work. You just got to keep your old 360, but you don't have to go out and say, oh, it's backwards thinking to expect backwards compatibility.
Mm.
Could be a little better.
No, that would be
PR
neat.
message.
If it did, though.
No, it would. but I guess you can't
What
necessarily
did
expect it.
what did PlayStation say? Did they say they were working on like getting you to download them or
Well,
something?
they said that it won't be backwards compatible with PS3, but they're trying to work with the Gaikai solution, and they're trying to work so that their goal is to have like the whole backlog of not just PS3 but PS2, PS1, etc. streamed through Gaikai. Like
So
that's
really
their
like
explanation.
my PS3's got like all kinds of crap on it from like all the consoles.
Right.
And I really enjoy that, so it is kind of a bummer. I hope they do like the Wii U route and like, oh, you already have it on your account. Here's like $1.
Well, Microsoft is actually trying to go with how connected the system is, and again, the messages are mixed with how often it has to be. Like the internet's it's required to be connected to the internet, but not at all times. Maybe it's once a day. Again,
This is one
they're
I
not
haven't
clear.
heard. This is one like as Super said, I don't know yet because I've heard so many different things.
Exactly, and the message is not clear. But they have talked about plans that, in an attempt to extend the lifetime of the system, they want to integrate cloud computing, so that for things like backgrounds in a video game, just connect to our online, and then we'll have that part kind of fill in the game while the system focuses on making the characters as lifelike as possible. Can anyone say SimCity? Anyone? Did they not learn? Or are they expecting that a few years from now, that won't be a problem when it's a few years from now when we're trying to extend the life of the system?
What I've got from this is that it does need to connect every so often, which is bad, but it's not always on, so it's still like a little better, but whatever. And I have
Good
also
luck if your
heard that,
Connect breaks too.
yeah, I've also heard that the option is in there for the developers to do this,
Right.
which is really bad.
Because they want that money, they're gonna make the choice.
So much of all of this, so much of the used games, so much of this DRM crap, just seems to me like EA just whispering in Microsoft's ear.
Yeah. We want this. Do it. Partnership. Besties. Friends.
Football games.
I'm sorry. I just kind of like turned that into like one of those biblical stories with Samson and whatever that girl was.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember her name, but that just made me think of the Bible story. She's like, gotta cut your hair or something.
You know what the worst part about all this is?
Call of Duty dog? No, that's the best part.
That's the best
Yeah.
part.
What's the best part?
I'm not. I don't know if it's the best or the worst best part. I have to buy one at launch.
Yeah, you
Like
do.
they're not going to, I'm not a person who needs to be sold on the system. For my academic things that I'm working on and for my thesis and all that, I can't elaborate on that yet. But like I have to buy one at launch as soon as possible.
You know how happy I am?
Or that you don't have
Because
to.
I'm like, man, I hope it sucks, and I don't enjoy anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like it sucks because Super likes it, then I feel bad. But I will say I do not give a crap. I cannot believe I'm sitting here and saying this because I'm always like, man, I hope the competition's bad. I can't believe everything that I thought would be bad, it was confirmed more or less. I can't believe that I have zero interest in this thing. I cannot believe it worked out like that. I'm like, there's no way they're going to take all that negativity and be like, yeah, we're doing it, but they did it, more or less.
I don't know. I mean, I'm really excited to see the exclusive games. I think it's gonna help. If you have, good exclusive games, if that rare game
Patience, it's
happens
not
to
out
be
yet.
a Banjo 3E, if that rare
I'll
game
watch it with you, Super. Me and Super watch these things every year, like together on a Skype call. I'll watch it with you, and you can make me eat my words.
Yeah.
They're gonna do
That's all
Banjo.
I'm
They're
saying.
gonna do
It's like-
Banjo, and I'm gonna be pissed.
You're like, now I
all
have
I'm
to.
saying right now is just like the thing's not even out yet. When it comes out and it's terrible, I'll be like, I'm not buying that piece of crap.
Hmm.
But like, I don't think I'm gonna buy a PS4 either. And that's pretty much the gist of it at this point. It's kind of like, what are they going to plan to do for people who don't have online? Or is this just something you seriously just need online? Because I know the connection's required for like it needs a 24-hour ping or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like, is there going to be a certain situation in which you can have an Xbox One without an online connection? Because there's going to be the cheap college student who loves their Xbox and wants to play the games on there, but can't afford online
Mm-hmm.
or has crappy online.
Somebody was
Or
talking
like
about.
so many college campus people have an online that is so spotty
Yep.
Hmm.
that it can barely connect to anything, or you have to have it in a specific corner of their house. Like, you have to sit on the door in the kitchen to have a stable connection.
Somebody pointed out like people over like our troops fighting overseas,
Oh yeah.
like not getting a quick game of Madden in, and I'm like, yeah, America, don't do that.
America. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it develops. The internet did not take kindly
Oh
to the reveal
man.
of this system overall.
Oh man, Angry Joe was upset.
If I were someone,
Angry Joe was upset a little bit.
I'm
he
glad
wasn't
you liked that
angry.
one.
He wasn't angry. He was upset.
Just disappointed.
If
Joe.
I were someone who, they needed to sell me on the system, I would not be sold. But like, this is something I have to get for my academia. It's something I've budgeted in.
I have to say something.
Like,
I have to say
so
something.
I've gotta, and that kind of it's weird.
I have to say something that I found amusing that I haven't seen talked about as much. I love after all the crap Sony got after not showing their box. They're like, look at it from every angle. Look at it.
Yep.
And that one thing in the beginning,
Yep.
I'm like,
Mhm.
there it is.
That's a
Good
VCR
job.
right there.
Yeah. Controller looks neat.
I am excited about the controller. I'll give it that.
When they say ergonomically made for the hands, I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks like it.
As opposed to not ergonomically made for the
Yeah.
hands.
Well, have you seen the Xbox
Rump.
controller?
Well, the Xbox. Oh, yeah, the first one, but
Yeah, the first one. Oh, and that already
the
confused me.
Duke.
We got Xbox 360 and one.
Yeah. Because it's
I like
359 times less.
It's 359 steps back is the
Yeah,
popular
there you
one.
go.
The,
Yep.
the best thing I've found out of all this is people are calling this console war generation the one for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Good job, whoever did that.
Good job, internet.
Good job, 4chan or whatever we credit for that.
Well, now that we've spent 45 minutes on
It
this
needed to be
reveal,
done.
It did. But we've got to move on to different things, and you move them a bit quickly. Nintendo Direct from May 17th. We weren't really expecting a lot. You couldn't really expect a lot. But there's Sonic Lost World.
That's the thing. You're like, they're not gonna do anything exciting, and then I hear
I
like
was
ship with
certain
second.
we were
like,
going to get some
ooh.
teases.
Well, it
I
was,
was-
it was a bunch of teases. Like, you can't expect, like, E3 stuff when they're, building up to it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I expected a lot of teases for E3.
Mm-hmm. What do you think
I think
Sonic
we
Lost
gotta-
World is? Do you think it's the last game in the storybook?
I think it's. They
Saga.
said it was an action adventure platformer, so I just think it's gonna be that. They showed off some villains on Facebook. They like,
did
oh,
see
they're
that,
these
yeah.
guardians. Are they friend or foe? And it's just silhouettes of characters. So I really don't think it's a storybook game.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I mean, it should be fun. That and 3DS, and there's supposedly a third Sonic game in the works.
Yep.
Not counting the Olympics.
Somebody at Sumo
Yep.
tweeted to somebody
Yep,
that we
yep.
might figure out who the best kart racer is, and if that's it, oh my god, I'm so up for that.
I do have a yes or no question about that in there.
That's good.
So when we reveal those at the end of the show, keep an ear out for that one. Zelda, we're going to have those on 3DS eShop in less than a week for Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
$1 off for a limited time
Good deal.
for both of them because they want people to buy both of them.
Yeah, get both for less than $10. I like that.
Yeah, you guys enjoy that.
You'll get it back soon. You'll get it back soon. But the big thing, Reggie, came out at the end and said, "We want to bring E3 to you." And I mentioned when they didn't have the conference that it would be really cool to have, eShop demos of some of the games at E3. Just put them on the eShop and we'll play them. That would be the way you win them over. Well, not exactly that. They're going to have those demos at specific Best Buys. They say about 1,000 across the country. They'll be more specific, which ones, which games. That is a good way of trying to do something different, I think. Now, people are saying, why not eShop? Well, not
I can
everyone
imagine
has a
couple
Wii U.
things. I can imagine a couple things. Those without Wii U's, and there's always going to be those who take the demo, crack it, get it on their computers, dig into it, find out all the things they don't need to know.
Absolutely.
Because the demo holds all this information that's not actually going to be shown on the demo.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
literally just a build of the game.
Yeah, if you want to sell your system to the public, why not make it in a public place?
Yeah.
They have a good partnership with Best Buy. Make it
I
happen.
had to go back to my old place of employment,
And they'll be like, Tony, hey. Like,
which is kind of fun, actually. I do enjoy that.
You bastards miss me yet? Because I'm going to be standing here all day.
I
Yeah.
hope they are good demos. Like, please have one of the demos be the new 3D Mario game.
Yeah.
Like, you've said that you're going to have that as a demo playable on the show. I'm pretty sure they did. You know, if Smash has a demo, of course we want
Lines.
that. But that's,
Lines.
yeah, lines everywhere. But, they haven't confirmed that, so I can't, get my hopes up too much for that. But I don't want it to be like...
I'm pretty sure it'll just be footage.
I don't want it to be like Pikmin 3 and Game & Wario and just stuff coming out this summer. I want, holiday games. Put freaking Wind Waker HD. I'll even go and play that. But,
Yeah.
like, I'd like
That's
them
gotta
to
be getting
good
there.
games. Oh, yeah. It's going to be this
Oh, yeah.
fall. It'll be this fall.
I've heard all kinds of. I've heard like October.
Mm-hmm.
As I was actually hunting for that yesterday because I'm like, I want a Wii U. There's no game. When does Wind Waker come out?
Yeah. But that's a good decision that they made it. I think that's something to look forward to, that they're bringing E3 to the people, that, something no one else would do. So
They did say next Nintendo Direct, which should be a little before E3.
Mhm.
We will see the new Mario game. We will see the new Mario Kart game, and they said that we will see Smash Brothers,
Yes, indeed.
which is huge, especially for this show.
It is very big for this show. It will
Nah,
be very
yeah.
interesting to see if they talk about Dojo. Yes, the Dojo.
I think we're all on pins and needles on that one.
Yes, indeed.
Like- We're going to be very busy people if there's a new dojo.
Now, granted, they do have an E3 Nintendo Direct for June 11th. The day after everyone else has their press conference. But they also said they would have one before the show. So kind of the Konami route. They've announced 2. Who knows if there'll be more? I mean, we didn't know about the 3DS one until they said at their press conference. And hey, tonight we're going to have a 3DS specific one. Do that.
Mhm.
So who knows?
Hey, that little Nabber guy who's the Mario and
Nabbit,
Luigi.
yes.
Nabbit, yeah. He just goes through things. That looks not fun
Yeah.
Well,
at all.
it's for untalented people at 2D platforms like me.
I talked to Super a little bit about this. I noticed that they're like, he can't use power-ups, but he can pick them up. So you could hit a block with 2 of your other friends, and like 3 mushrooms can come out, and he can grab all of them, and you can't get them. That is the only entertainment value I saw to that. I'm like, oh man, you could be such a dick with that.
Yep. You can be such a dick with that is like the quotes for that series of games.
Yeah.
Interesting decision though. $20 for DLC. I think that's a bit much. But then
It's
after
a
seeing
whole,
like
yeah, but
well,
it's not like a world. It's like a whole 8 worlds.
and after seeing all the content, when I was saying like, 10, 15 maybe, like I think $20 is fair for the DLC if you have the game. Interesting decision though for a couple months later to make it a $30 standalone, retail release.
I want it because it's got the Year of Luigi stamp on it, but I don't want it because then I'll have to change discs.
Yeah. And
hard
you'll have to
to
get a
say.
Wii U.
I'm gonna
All
Probably
He's
soon.
gonna.
probably soon. I'm seeing like Amazon has. I don't want to tell people they'll buy it for me.
Otherwise, release
have some
dates for
used.
different games. August 4th for Pikmin 3. I think it's September 25th.
Pikmin 3 looks cool.
Yeah.
Like you have 3 different people running around the map and you can switch between them. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, indeed.
I miss Olimar though. It's kind of weird not having them.
Yeah. It's gonna be different, but they've been working on it for a long time. They've been delaying it for a long time. Hopefully, it's worth it. And then the Wonderful 101. I think they said September 25th for that one. So that'll be.
It wasn't a whole
pretty cool.
lot. Like they didn't. It was very short.
Oh, it was. It was. But
But it was just
they've
kinda
got to
like recapping.
they've got to put all the eggs in their basket for E3. I mean,
Mhm.
when you're not going, I mean, you're obviously going to go there. You have a big presence on the show floor. You're going to have your presence there. But as far as the big pageantry, you got to save it up. You got to bring out the big guns. We want a trailer. or Smash 4 is what I'm saying. At least demo would be very nice. Dojo would be the best.
At least Dojo.
At least Dojo. But this news about them going to YouTube videos and taking up the ad space, not taking down games of Let's Players and all that, but preventing Let's Players from monetizing Nintendo games on the videos that they claim. It's kind of a strange situation.
I want you guys to know, listeners too, that I've gone from loving Nintendo, hating Nintendo, and loving them again in between these two episodes. That would really piss me off. And I don't really get pissed at Nintendo much. I'm like, man, don't do that. But this one, I'm like, hey.
Is this just first party Nintendo games? Does that count for if you play Mega Man X on an Super Nintendo?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Completionist just did a Kirby episode, and I'm pretty sure it was just because he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Peanut Butter, because I didn't know how fast this was going to hit.
Yeah.
But Peanut Butter Gamer tweeted out like a week after this had all like come out into the news that one of his videos they were taking the ad money for it.
Wow.
Taking it's not the right word. They don't take previous ad money. They just take all the coming later ad money.
They prevent the YouTube user from earning money on that video based on ads and clicks, etc.
And I don't, because I really want to get into this YouTube biz. This really, really, really bums me out. And to some of you who don't know how this works, Let's Plays I kind of understand because you're not really doing anything. You're not adding a whole lot of content. But for Peanut Butter Gamer, if you've seen his videos, he does really good reviews that require a lot of work. People like him and other people on the game station, your JonTrons, your Completionist and whatnot, they make money off this. They make a living off this. They don't have other jobs, a lot of them. And this is a huge oh crap. And this is very bad because it's like a lot of people have been... Nintendo gets free advertisements from these videos.
Yep.
I've seen plenty of these videos and gone, oh, I'm going to play that Nintendo game. But now everyone's just like, okay, we're going to make videos on other stuff so we can keep making our living.
Yeah.
And it's a very unanimous backlash. And I don't know why they're doing it because people have come out and said the ad money they're making is not worth it.
I agree. It is really unfortunate for the people who actually put effort in the videos and they do make a living off of it. But for the people who are just, making the commentary on the full Let's Plays, unedited, all that stuff, I'm sorry. I kind of have to agree with Nintendo on this one. And that's coming from a media producer like myself, who I respect the hell out of the work that the people do. And we had Gerard, the completionist, on a few episodes ago, and I respect the hell out of the guy for all that he does, making a very complicated video a week on top of everything else that he does in his life. That takes effort. But just going through and playing a game, and I'm doing these Twitch TV streams, and I'm uploading highlights and all that stuff. I'm not making money off of it. I don't even care. I don't even care. It's not that big of a deal to me because I know I'm dicking around. I'm playing a game. I'm not doing that much. It's not taking that much of my effort aside from playing the game. So I probably don't deserve to make money. And it's technically, some say it might be illegal, with what they're doing. But for the people who are using it for fair use, for review, for parody, for critique, I think that is an unfortunate, stipulation out of it all.
I've heard Nintendo's reached out to some of these people to review their stuff too at some points, or try out their stuff, which makes this doubly stupid.
Right.
I wanted to do LPs with.
My thoughts are basically the same. I find this to be a ridiculous decision on their part, and I'm trying to figure out what their final goal is, because what they're basically going to do is going to make people stop playing their games
on YouTube.
On YouTube. Hell, it make
forever.
Yes, but on YouTube, there's going to be people are going to stop making videos of their games now, and then there's going to be less advertisement on them, and Nintendo's going to stop marking videos to advertise. So in the end, all of this happens to do is get rid of content on the internet, because it no longer becomes something that people can do for any sort of profit.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that, these videos will be taken down. It's just that the users make the decision to not create anymore for fear of the repercussions. And I don't think it's not necessarily, blaming Nintendo. Blame YouTube's backwards system for this. Because they are the ones.
Everyone.
Well, they bend over and they just take it. And now you can construe that all you want, but they have to bend to every whim, every request they get. They don't do any damn research on their own. Lest we forget Master Link X's claim on his My Little Pony, source filmmaker work by Hasbro. Not Hasbro, by Hasbro. Taken down. YouTube just bends over for it.
To be fair, that was actually Hasbro, just the person who did it, typed it in wrong.
Then they're a bad employee.
Yeah, they are.
How to spell
that was confirmed. Actually Hasbro.
But still, even that was ridiculous. That was almost for parody. But still, YouTube doesn't look into it and be like, oh no, according to this law, we think that's fair. Sorry, wrong.
Also, we're only getting one Game Grumps a day right now, and I'm really sad.
Yeah, well, they're busy guys. So.
By the way, I don't know if I've ever conveyed this. These two guys like Game Grumps. I've seen every episode. I watch every upload.
I have 50 some episodes to catch up on.
Okay, that's not bad. But I watch them as they come out.
It's not bad, he says.
No, I just feel like a super fan sometimes. I wanted to put that out there in case anyone didn't know. Every day do I watch that stuff.
Wow. Damn,
anyway,
respect.
Which I'm hoping... What if they're playing Kirby? I love Kirby. I love Game Grumps Kirby. What if they stop because of this?
It'll explode and they'll be like, Kirby! No! No, Kirby!
There's nothing I can do.
Our last headline here is EA did something pretty incredible. They came up with this ridiculous online pass system. They took
you don't think this previous first headline had anything to do with this?
Yeah. That first headline has everything to do with this.
I think you made this exact joke on your special. You're like, oh, we're such a good company, we're getting rid of this, and then that happened.
And then it happened.
Yeah.
I saw this headline pop up and I was shocked. Literally shocked that they're getting rid of online passes, what they came up with. Because of bad fan feedback.
Was it? I feel like other people did it.
Well, yeah, they
I think Ratchet All for One did it, actually, believe it or not.
Ubisoft, I think, did something like this. Sony definitely did something like this, but EA was the one who started it.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they're like, no, it's kind of amazing that they're backpedaling like this.
Not after the first headline. Not if they're getting their $35 if you buy it used anyway.
Or whatever the full MSRP is for that.
That's much more than online passing.
I just thought that this was something that, the developers, or the publishers rather, because the developers don't make those kind of decisions, that the publishers would kind of force this down our throats. And we'd be forced to take it. And to have this reversed...
I'm totally good, because I don't play crap online, barely.
Right. No, I agree with you. But it might even just be some other way that it's kind of force-fed to us. But that was not a headline I was expecting to see. Ever.
I got nothing.
Yeah, and it's like there's really nothing to say about this. It's just like, EA got rid of online passes. Xbox One does it for them.
Gives them the option to do it worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much the strongest way you can put it. You just do it worse now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just this whole use game thing. The worst thing I can think of is like, what does this do for GameFly? What does this do for rental companies?
Yeah, you can't get Xbox One games now.
Yeah.
I say as I have DMC
they are
in the mail
screwing
for PS3.
themselves. They are screwing themselves so hard with this. I don't think they know how bad they're screwing themselves yet. I think they're really so up their own ass with, people just buy it because it's Xbox.
They're arrogant. They're confident after their success in sales recently, and they're being arrogant.
PS4 just has to not do these things. And they win.
Yeah, shots fired against GameStop, or any brick and mortar, used game shop, family videos, whatever blockbusters still remain,
Hmm.
GameFly,
But
and
not doing it the way that Steam does it on top of that, which
yeah,
consumers do enjoy.
No,
Just like, no, we're doing it like this.
hopefully they can lower the prices then if they're getting the direct money basically. Like that's why Steam's able to have those sales and get those cuts. So hopefully Microsoft can follow suit. Anyway, let's get to the hilarity of the week because we only have about a half hour of the show left. 4 words, ladies and gentlemen. Why can't Metroid crawl? Do you think we meant Samus? No.
no, Metroid.
Why can't Metroid crawl?
I like Metroid. He's a pretty cool guy. I can't crawl. Doesn't afraid of anything.
People on Miiverse have started to play Super Metroid.
Oh god, I just looked at the
And
pictures.
these are people
It's like it's telling a story.
kind of, yeah. Yeah, they're saying like they're stuck again. I seem to be trapped. Is this a glitch? Oh, 10 minutes in, I'm stuck. I can't do this. Help. And this is like, Morph Ball, Bomb. Like you look at this and if you've played, Super Metroid or any game before, it seems simple. But then again, we are talking from a more experienced game perspective. I think I read an article, actually, it was on Destructoid. And they were saying, like, this is, your best and worst moment as a gamer. For the best, it's kind of like, I know how to do this. I am a better video game player than that guy. I feel so good about myself. But the worst, you're like, this is what's wrong with, the generation of today, etc.,
That's not
etc.
fair.
And I agree. I don't think it is too fair. I mean, granted, some of these people may be trolling, but you have to use the tools of your era. Back in the day, like we did do problem solving. Like that was part of the solution. But
Pressing
we
buttons.
we also had friends to talk to. We also had, guides to purchase and look up answers. We had things at our disposal. Kids now have the internet, and gosh, when you're playing on Wii U, the purpose of a social network forum that is integrated into the system is exactly for things like this. So, while it may seem ridiculous to us who are more experienced, game players, to see that it is, I guess, a little frustrating. Like, just do this, you kid. But
Don't
they,
tap down.
but they asked the question on there
To
for a
anyone
reason.
watching a game when they know what to do, though, I feel
Well,
like.
no, it's true. But they're using the tools at their disposal. Like, that's why Nintendo has the Miiverse and the ability to, post screenshots. If you remember the non-specific action figure, the guy was dying at the boss, and he, says, "Help! How do I beat this?"
Did you guys already forget what non-specific action figure taught us?
Seriously, did you even forget non-specific action figure? Who? Let's be honest. Who could forget non-specific action figure?
I want one still.
He is a hero.
But this is
You
also
should have
happening.
you should have been in the Wii U Deluxe box.
You totally
You get
should
one.
have. It'd be super cheap to make one. Come on.
Oh yeah.
This is apparently also happening with Super Mario World as well. But I think this was blown a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
the Forest of Illusion picture was my
Yep.
favorite. It's like, what do I do?
God, I'm probably gonna be getting to that same point when I
Dude,
play
yeah,
Super
you
Mario
didn't
World.
do that. You don't even
I'm
know.
totally going to. I've never played that game before. I've never played Mario 3 before. I'm going to play it because it's on my resolution, but I'm going to get to that point and be like, stream help.
Help.
Three, you'll be all right, because it's pretty mostly straightforward. But there's that part in Mario World in the forest where it's like, crap. I think there's a place in the mountains too where I just kept going in a circle when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, you probably were too. I remember that stage.
That was hard.
Well,
Meh.
this is
I beat
amusing to
that game in
see.
2 hours now.
You just have to keep on playing it. Like you have to do like it on. It's completely time constrictive.
Oh yeah,
You have to beat this part in like this many seconds, and this part in this many seconds, or you have to kill this many enemies, or something like that, to get to the
Mhm.
next area.
Yikes.
Chill out, guys. It's not that bad.
I think it was blown
So
a bit
big.
out of proportion. It is amusing, especially if some of them are trolling.
Hey, they can't morph ball.
What's with these red doors? How do I open red doors? But people can get stuck, but they have the tools like this to be able to reach out to other gamers. This is kind of what Nintendo wants in a weird way, for people to interact in this way, even if it's for silly/dumb reasons. Yeah, Sonic.
Psychoing right on time there.
Perfect. Yeah, it says
Sonic 3 comes out.
Sonic 3 and the Carnival Night. How do I get up and through this barrel thing?
So super those Taxman ports.
Yep.
Oh, actually, we'll throw that in the out recently. We'll throw a little discussion on that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I actually do have to go here, guys. So
Oh.
We
Yeah,
got it
I'm-
for the bulk of it.
the fact that I got an hour in was nothing short of a miracle.
Well, thank you. We really do appreciate it. Go get your car fixed or bought a new
Yeah.
one. Get that all sorted.
Yeah, my car was a taco last I saw it.
What happened for those that are wondering?
Oh,
I know it tried to kill you, but
yes, it did try to kill me. I was pretty much seconds from death, but at the same time, it's whatever.
I was seconds from death. No big
Ah,
deal. You just come out of it stronger on the other side. No, we're seriously glad
Yeah.
you're okay.
I was going down the road, going about 35, 40, and this is on US 31,
Okay.
and I'm taking a corner, just kind of thinking to myself, I had just watched 2 movies for the day, dropped my friend off, and then all of a sudden my car starts to veer wildly to the right. I'm like, well, that's not right.
Are you making
I
a left turn or?
It was a general right. It was a general right curve,
Okay.
but I started turning way more right than I should have.
Oh,
So I tried to correct, and the car kept going. And I'm like, okay, I can fix this. It's just a hydroplane. It was not a hydroplane. The tire rod, something wrong when that system happened, and both tires were
Turns out he was
operating
in the desert.
independently.
There's
Yeah.
no water anywhere.
Yeah. Both tires were operating independently. Somewhere around the tire rod had broken. And one tire had just basically, because I was on general right curve, because I was turning right, it had clicked all the way to the right. So it was basically horizontal as far as a car tire could turn right, while the other one was still mildly turning right. And what happens when that happens is you spin out. So I spun out on 31 into oncoming traffic, but they were far enough away that they were able to slow down.
thank goodness.
And I hit a curb super hard. And thank God I did, because if I hadn't hit that curb, I would have been flung off a cliff.
Oh.
And I did pop up the curve, and that's what bent my tires, bent both axles.
Jesus.
I didn't know about the
And-
cliff. You didn't
Oh,
tell me
yeah.
about the cliff.
It's not, I mean, it's only like a 10, 20-foot drop, something like that. I don't know. But,
Oh, okay. See,
going in a
I think
car.
Cliff, like,
Wally Coyote crap.
yeah. No, it's not Wiley Wicko. I mean, it's still a cliff. I mean,
did.
So
still.
many
Yeah.
cliffs in those cartoons.
And basically, at that point, I was thinking to myself, well, the car's dead. I probably can't even move from this position. But, I put a little foot on the gas, and the car moves forward. I'm like, I can't believe my engine didn't fall out. Every mechanic I've ever seen in the last 3 years has told me that if I hit something too hard, this engine's going to fall out of my car.
yeah, that cavi has been on its last legs for a while.
Yeah, a car that's supposed to last 6 months just lasted me 3 years.
Well,
I
I'm
got it
glad
for
that you
free.
can get something new before you come out here in July.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna get. Right now, my 2 best options are a 2000 Grand Caravan for
Grand
less than
Caravan's a good one.
$1,000.
Yeah.
It's less than $1,000, which is kind of nice. Or a 2000, what is it? A 2004 Ford Taurus with 186,000 miles on it for 2.5 grand.
I mean, I'm going to be biased and say go Dodge Grand Caravan because where I work, so.
Yeah.
But no, it's your choice. I mean, as long as you get something that works and doesn't try to kill you, so I'm really glad you're okay.
Oh, thank you. And I'm off to do stuff before work.
All right, have fun. Thanks for
We-
joining.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank-
bye.
It was fun to be on for as long as I could.
Yes.
All right, see you guys.
Good to have you.
All right, Tony, let's blow through the rest of these.
That's
Story
what she
pool. Ah, that's what she said. How good was The Office finale?
I really enjoyed that.
Ah, that was great. That was really great. Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. That is Gyakuten Saiban 5, the sequel to Apollo Justice for the Ace Attorney franchise. I think it's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. eShop release only for fall 2013.
It's something.
It is better than nothing. And that's about what you have to expect. I mean, this is a series that they're hoping that, hopefully this won't fail, or else we may never see a game in the franchise here again.
It'll do all right. I think it'll do fine.
Totally
eShop
gonna buy
only.
it.
The
Totally
diehards
gonna
will come out.
That'll be me. I'm gonna get it for sure.
How long has this been not in the West?
What do you mean?
Like, how long have you guys been waiting for it? Did it just come out, or what?
Oh no, I mean the game in Japan just came out
Okay.
really recently, or actually, it might even be in July that it's coming out. Like it has been waiting for long for this one. It's the Ace Attorney Investigations 2 game. That was the sequel to the Miles Edgeworth game. That one has been since 2011. So
Never came out.
Still waiting on that one over here. So we'll see. But maybe if they'll do well on the eShop, that might change.
Has there been a fan translation or anything?
They've been working on one, but it hasn't made that much.
Because these are kind of
progress.
games I kind of want to like watch maybe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I do recommend playing, of course, because I really enjoy it. But if it's not your thing, for sure watching. I mean, great stories, great characters. So at least a watch for sure. And
Right.
they're available, I'm sure, on YouTube and whatnot. So yeah, that's gonna be really exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
That's good.
Also, there's apparently a new game handheld, which I had no idea.
The what?
The NVIDIA Shield, or Project Shield. A June release window. Promises of a Double Fine's adventure called Broken Age, the one that was raised on Kickstarter and whatnot. $349. Yeah, no.
That's a lot of money.
That's
This
not
thing
gonna
screams
happen.
Engage, doesn't it?
It kind of does. It's gonna operate on Android Jelly Bean, 2 gigs of RAM. I mean, I guess the specs are all right, but really, $350 for that? It's a bulky handheld. That looks like an Xbox controller. It's a bulky handheld.
They're making that Shield TV show.
Yeah, Agents of Shield.
Also, Shield took all 3 title belts the last pay-per-view, and that's the only Shield references I got on me right now.
And the Shield was a show with Michael Chiklis.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's also the Shield.
that's cool.
Gran
Shield's
Turismo
a lot.
6. Yeah, Gran Turismo 6 is also a thing. It's coming to PS3 this holiday. The trailer they put out, it looks really nice. I mean, it's going to compete with Forza, but Forza's going to be on next gen. They do have plans apparently to release this on PS4. Nothing official though that's it's being considered right now, but this will be on PS3, and kind of shocking when you consider how
close we are.
long. Well, yeah, how close we are and how long 5 took. 5 kept getting delay after delay after delay, and now it's like, okay, well now we get the PS3 system, how to develop for it. Polyphony, turn around in a couple of years. And they say they're going to do a lot with DLC. But gosh, you look at some of those
They probably
screenshots.
should with how these games work. Mm-hmm. You know how like we only probably needed like one Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
It's just download the new cars.
You look at that last screenshot though with the car. I mean that looks fantastic.
Oh, those games are great for cars. I can't imagine being in that Forza Grand Theft Auto or Gran Turismo like argument though. I'm like, man, I don't even know.
Yeah, they both look great for sure. Let's see. Out recently, Metro Last Light, getting pretty good reviews. Dust 514 is finally out of its beta, and nobody really cared. Resident Evil Revelations is on consoles and PC now.
Apparently, really good.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, people
Apparently,
loved
the
it.
revelation is it's better than its predecessor or its successor.
Who burn?
I read that somewhere. I can't take credit for that.
Pretty good. No, I mean, people really enjoyed it on 3DS, so it's really interesting to see that get the HD port.
It was so
people are
fun.
enjoying
This
it.
Iwata like, it was like
I'm
also
sorry, who?
Iwata.
No, okay,
I probably added a syllable, on, but that was just
or something. Yeah.
I sleepy talking, not
You
mispronunciation.
mean Satoru
He's just like-
Iwata?
Yes.
Yes.
And they were just, he's just like, we are also adding popular characters, Hunk. And like, I'm like, you
And
know.
Hunk and Rachel.
Oh, me and Nathan's been a lifelong Resident Evil fan. He was just like, who the hell is Rachel?
And they're just like adding them to the multiplayer, mercenaries
Hunk
mode,
is
whatever.
cool. But we were both like, that game looks really cool. It looks like it's on a creepy boat.
Yeah.
It looks like they did everything right. I do want to kind of check that out at one point.
hmm Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D is now out for
Bought it.
3DS. Buy it.
No, I bought it.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying,
I,
like, you would also say, buy it because it's good.
yeah, it is good. I played the Wii version once. That game is hard as nails. I've been playing the 3 heart version, which I found much more reasonable.
hmm
So I like to stick around a lot and I'll get hit twice and then I'll be careful.
Yeah.
I'll probably need those later.
Yeah, when you
Uh,
don't have motion controls as an integral part of the control scheme, it does make a difference.
it's still weird though because there's 2 control options. You can use circle pad or D-pad.
Hmm.
And there's 2 different control options for it. It's not bad. I'm using the circle pad one now because like Y is roll
Oh, okay.
and with the D-pad the triggers are roll,
Hmm.
which was weird.
Oh, that kind of stretches you out a bit.
It does.
Wow.
The circle pad works fine,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Me personally, with just 2D games, me and Super have argued with this endlessly. I just prefer using the D-pad,
Yeah.
and it just kind of clicks. You can be a little more precise, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it works. The circle pad's fine. I haven't had any problems with it once I started using it. The triggers are just for. Is it like X and Y is pound the ground?
Okay, yeah.
I forget what the triggers do when you're like. I wish I could have like combined the control schemes, you know.
Yeah.
It still
Just
bugs me,
customize.
but it's still miles beyond better than the Wii version.
Oh, good. That's really good to hear.
Yeah,
And then,
with how they control it, it's really fun. It looks pretty. It's platforming like masterful, which I didn't notice because of how the control layout was before. It's awesome. Go get it.
nice. And then Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
What is this?
I don't know. I don't care. It's just it's a game that came out, and Call of Juarez was, something
Is this
that
like DLC or is it a sequel?
that's a sequel.
Okay.
But it's just your third-person shooter. Boom, boom, boom.
I feel bad not knowing.
Juarez.
I honest to God feel bad on these out recently sometimes with us, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't really
but-
care about Call of Juarez. So.
Hey, well, maybe when PS4 comes out, we can, try a demo in the store.
Yeah, I'll probably
On
play
demand.
everything.
That'd be great. That would
Uh,
be great.
And not on Xbox One. Also, we don't have
Now
it
the
on-
bashing can continue.
Oh, it's on there. It's on like Donkey Kong. They did buy that. I saw that on some promotional stuff.
I know.
It's so
Come
weird.
on. They even got the trademark to it. You got to use it.
So, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 came out on iPhone and Android devices
Yes.
like last week, and it's oh my god. I want a console version now. I hope this is a case of them just putting it on phones first.
Well, also doing the 3D version on 3DS eShop. But, it's not with all the characters and all that. But
that's independent. Taxman, who did the Sonic CD port, who 60
Right.
frames a second widescreen, made it beautiful.
wow.
He did this version. We didn't know what he was gonna add. It was very last second. Like he was like, "Oh, it's widescreen. It works great." Redid the music a little bit. I think they just reran it through something so it sounds better. The day it came out, they were like, "Oh, and you can play as Tails and Knuckles,"
Yeah, I saw that.
which was like, "Whoa, cool." And I've also seen Supersonic in some pictures, so that's really awesome. I
Nice.
wonder if I was him, I would have added another Emerald because that always pissed me off.
Yeah.
Continuity wise, there's only 6.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of
That's-
weird.
That's the one Elise had, I guess. We don't talk about that one. But yeah, very good port. Bring it to other stuff because I'm gonna play it.
For sure.
I think the 3DS game is going to be a different kind of port.
Yeah, I know.
Just-
Probably just add the 3D effect and it'll be the same as the original.
which
probably.
is still cool.
Yeah.
No problem with that. But I want this version real bad.
As far as the soapbox, I finished Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I'll talk about the game a little bit more during the next What Are You Playing next week. But I kind of made it known on my social media outlets that the post-credits scene was one of the worst things I've ever seen in a game. It was just
What was I watching?
atrocious. And, Tony, you were there. You stopped by right at the
I
end.
didn't stop
and
by.
there's-
I watched the YouTube video of it.
Oh, okay.
And,
Well,
and
you thought you were there for one of the streams at one point. I'm trying to remember.
I popped in the last whatever game that Super liked.
Oh yeah, the Dust and Elysian Tale.
Yeah, that
Elysian, sorry.
looks like Odin Spear. That's what you're playing, Talk.
Yeah. It actually plays more like Metroidvania, so it's actually really cool. But Call of Duty Black Ops, not as good as the first game, but it does characters, and this was a game with an antagonist that was up for some VGA awards last year. His name was Raul Menendez, and he's got some backstory to it and all that. I did not get a very good ending in this game. It's part of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is you get to make choices, and these decisions that you make alter the endings. There's only like 3 or 4 endings and some amalgamation of the different parts of it. But multiple endings. It's kind of a first for Call of Duty. It wasn't executed that well. But I can get to that later. In the ending I got, one of the characters killed another character. In this post-credit scene that I have on YouTube, and it is spoilers because I do say this, like these two characters, one of them just killed each other in the game's ending. Credits roll, and then after the credits, they're suddenly backstage at a concert. One of them's like drums, like practicing drums, and the other's like, I'm trying to psych myself up to play guitar. Like I can do this, and they're wearing like Avenged Sevenfold shirts. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, how much did Avenged Sevenfold, pay to get their names on those shirts? And I thought it'd just be some banter. That wouldn't have been so bad. Then 2 members of the Avenged Sevenfold band, M Shadows, who's the vocalist, and holy crap, he's the guitarist. He's really good, and I'm blanking on his name. It's with an S. Their lead guitarist, who's Sinister, I think his name is Sinister or something. Very good guitarist. But then both of they appear in game, models and everything. Like they just appear backstage with these guys, and they're like, "Hey, you guys ready to go?" And they're kind of like punch each other, like get psyched up for this concert. And I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? But this character's dead. One of these characters is dead. This guy just killed this guy. What's happening? They're talking to these Avenged Sevenfold people who are modeled in game, wearing their shirts, about to go to a concert. No, they can't.
And they didn't even play Afterlife, which would have made sense because they were dead.
They go out on stage and they play one of their songs. It is a concert with Avenged Sevenfold with one of their songs, and this character who I had die in game in a serious but not as good ending is on drums, and another one is on guitar. And they show cuts of people, they're rocking out in the crowd like, oh, I had that character die. They're in a mosh pit. They're raging.
The president was dancing, you said?
The president was dancing.
Hey, was this after the Avenged Sevenfold drummer died?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because that's kind of like a bummer.
I don't know. That's a good question. But it goes back to how much did they pay for it? I know it's one of the most commercially successful games, not just as far as sales and all that stuff. Very popular, but you tried to be serious. You tried to have a meaningful narrative with choice and multiple endings, and you throw this non-canon shit at the end of your game. I generally like Avenged Sevenfold as a band. I like them much less after this, and it's not a matter of, oh, bro, you sold out. You did this. What is this? I mean, I like to think that
Nathan's favorite band is Avenged Sevenfold. I really need to show him that.
I like to think that video games they're starting to build integrity with the narratives that they tell. But when you start to do commercial stuff like this at the end of a game that you wanted to be serious and meaningful, man, that really sucked. It was very, disheartening to watch.
Hey, we gotta have bad movies too, man.
Yeah, but the game wasn't a bad game. And I know it didn't mean much for the story. It was non-canon. You can make all these excuses. It's still a dumb thing to put in a video game. Plain and simple. Anyway, that's my soapbox.
I guess I'll go next.
You're the only one here,
Anyone
so-
else want to? Okay, I'll go.
Okay, super?
was-
No?
No, Buzz just materialized. Panda just kicks me off the show. I was thinking about talking about how Pokemon breeding is insane, and how much work I've had to put in to get my Skarmory to learn Drill Peck.
Is it
I had
an egg move or?
No, yeah, I had to like level up a Spearow to 37, and then have it screw a Skarmory, and then that's how I say it.
Yep.
Because I'm getting ready for our trip for our Pokemon battle
Oh, cool.
when we all meet up. I'm like getting ready. Can you
That's
flat
right.
battle on Battle Revolution?
I don't know. I don't have Battle Revolution because
Oh,
that game
crap.
sucks.
I need to look that up. What's the best way to stream it? I don't know. I've always liked those 3D Pokemon battles.
Yeah, I guess that would be the best way to stream it.
Hmm.
Exo Raiko says yes. I think he would know more than either of us.
Okay,
so
good.
We'll
good.
get a used copy.
But it
or
requires you
something.
to customize the rules. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, just because it's been irking me, and I'll talk about it more on What Are You Playing, but I watched the Catherine run through. I wanted to talk to you about this, actually.
Yes.
I watched the Catherine like story, though. I don't think any of that level stuff mattered in the context of
Yeah,
the story.
the gameplay is so very different, and it's just like nightmares that he's having. So there's like an ass monster, or like the baby that is kind of threatening him, or on his mind is like the baby's coming to eat him or something. I mean that's really about it.
I've seen Gerard's review and what it was like, and I'm like, I don't think I need to see any of that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they showed the monsters.
story. What do you think of the story though?
I think it fell apart in Act 3. Horribly.
Kind
fell
of.
apart.
The twist is a little weird.
And the twist was kind of interesting, but I don't know how to say this. Okay, Act 1 and 2 are really good because the setup's really good. The best way I could put it is the what the hell is going on aspect of the story was really well done.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that period of time. And when things got explained, I was really bummed out.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree with you there.
Not a good payoff at all, especially like the villain,
The
I
big
guess I
bad,
could
yeah.
say,
Mhm.
without giving too much away. Oh my god, that girl goes for all that explanation crap at the end too. I'm like, really? You just go with that? Oh my god.
And plus her backstory too.
Yeah, what was any of that?
So messed up. No,
don't know,
but like the
man.
first two acts, like with
Really
relationships
good.
and all that, great.
Really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
very
captivating, really like, oh man, I can't wait to
mature
see what's gonna
material.
happen.
Yeah.
I did want to point that out because I didn't remember you like talking about it. You're like, yeah, the story's good, and I'm like, I don't know, man. After I beat it. Also, I think a character got a sex change. They alluded to, like the waitress.
Yeah. See, that was what I was referring to.
Yeah, what the hell is that all
her,
about?
her backstory is that yeah.
I think that was different ending crap, which I didn't really go into too.
Well, that's
depth.
true. I mean, there are 9 endings. So which one did you get?
I just watched the best ending, I suppose,
Oh, okay. For who? Because it's on each end.
for the good Catherine.
Good Catherine. Okay. See, I got the good ending for Catherine with a K, so the order ending, but it wasn't the true ending. So when Scott and I played it, whenever it came out,
Pretty sure it was the true ending.
yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to say bad Act 3.
Interesting.
Which I thought that was fun, though, because I pretty much watched it like a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a lot of fun, and I judged it like a movie. I'm like, man, that movie. There's movies I've watched where I'm like, it fell apart at the end. You ever seen Alien versus Predator?
No. I have not.
There's a part where the main character girl, like, it's a very blah movie. It's all PG-13, so it's not as, like, gory.
Oh, so then it sucks.
No, but
I get you.
then there's a part where the main character is, like, trying to get away, and, like, she's pleading with the Predator. It's like, hey, help me. And he's just kind of like, all right. He, like, makes her shield, and they, like, team up. And I'm like, dude, this is cool. Like, I didn't care the whole movie, and then Act 3 was awesome. I very much judged that game like a movie, which I thought was fun.
I mean, it's fun when you see the games edited like a movie, and you're not going to play the gameplay, but you still want to experience the story. I mean, that's the benefit of some of those Let's Plays without commentary on YouTube. That's So like when I see Let's Plays with bad commentary, it really turns me off to the whole forum in general. Like I want to just watch the game because I don't.
I wish there was more stuff like Uncharted the movie, which
Oh,
you
it was
guys
so
told me
good.
about.
It was so good.
Most of the stuff I've seen is just all the cutscenes, which isn't horrible.
Yeah.
I watched Injustice like that too.
Oh yeah.
All that gameplay is inconsequential too.
You're gonna have a lot to talk about on What Are You Playing? That's for
Oh,
sure.
dude, it's stupid. 'Cause I'm stupid.
Start making your list.
I will, but the document's all weird. I just showed you.
Yes.
I'm
it
afraid to
is.
save it.
Let's see. Let's talk about, instead of the thought, I am now going to reveal the 50 E3 yes or no questions. For those that don't know, what we do is that in 2 weeks from now, so, right now it's the 25th, so in a couple weeks, that weekend or so, we're going to have our E3 call-in show where we're going to have people, call in to us on Skype. We'll explain the rules later in a forum post. But basically, they're going to call in to the show and we'll talk about them and we'll talk about these questions that we've come up with. We've done this for the past couple of years. It's been, a lot of fun. Although last year was kind of a bit underwhelming because what you also get to do is when you vote on our forums, not really vote, how's the best way to put this? You kind of, submit for this contest because the winner of this contest, as far as accuracy is concerned, after E3 gets to be on our show to talk about all of the E3 things. So it's something you want to do if you're a fan of the show. Anyway, we have 50 questions here, and the only answers are yes or no. It's very easy to enter. So what I'm doing now is, we'll have our forum thread where, we'll have the instructions of what to do and all that. But right now on the show here, I get to reveal, and Tony, you get to, I guess, react to the questions that we will be having for this year's E3. So we start with Microsoft. Microsoft has 10 questions. Will an onstage demo of Call of Duty Ghosts either open or close Microsoft's conference?
Did you pick more yeses this time around or something?
I'm hoping.
That's a total yes.
So either open or close stage demo of Call of Duty Ghosts for the Xbox conference. Will we hear more details about Halo 5 during E3? Not necessarily about, during the conference, but during E3. By the end of E3, we'll have an answer either yes or no if we'll have more details about Halo 5. Will video footage of at least 8 of the supposedly 15 new Xbox One games, exclusives rather, be shown during Microsoft's conference? Video of 8 of these supposed 15.
Nope.
Will Rare's new game for Xbox One be an addition to a franchise that featured a title on Nintendo 64? So, if they had a game from Rare on Nintendo 64 and it's a sequel, that's what we're looking for.
What if it's a Banjo sequel? Wouldn't the sequel technically be Nuts and Bolts?
Well, the franchise featured a title on Nintendo 64, so yeah, Banjo would count. Will a sequel of a game previously made for Kinect be revealed during Microsoft's conference?
Like what?
Kinect Sports 3, Kinectimals 2.
Fable?
I guess. I mean, well, Fable The Journey 2. But
Yeah,
a game that was, Kinect only last generation, does it get a sequel for, during this conference here? Will a child demo a game on stage during Microsoft's conference?
Hope not.
Will Microsoft mention anything about their Illumaroom projection technology during their conference? Will Xbox One's price be announced? Will Xbox One's specific release date be announced? Not just, holiday 2013, month and date.
Very excited on both fronts on that one.
Will Microsoft air an unnecessary concert/event during their conference?
That'll be. I love these questions because that'll get people excited for a concert.
I know, right? Like, I had yes down. Please see a concert, please. So those are the 10 Microsoft questions. We now move on to Sony. Will there be a demo of Beyond Two Souls during Sony's conference? I was considering putting Last of Us, but the game's out in a month. Will they do that? I think Beyond Two Souls is more interesting to see if will or will they not do that.
Last of Us out in a month?
It's June 14th.
Oh wow.
So their conference is actually the 10th. So a few days after that, and I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, demo Beyond Two Souls during Sony's conference. Will Sony further discuss their Gaikai plans for the PS4's launch during their conference? Will they talk about what the Gaikai plans will be for the system's launch?
You keep saying Gaikai. What is Gaikai?
Gaikai is the streaming service. They bought Gaikai, which is cloud computing for gaming,
Okay.
where they
Gotcha.
basically do all the computation on their end and then just stream the video to you as you're playing.
Okay.
That's what Gaikai is. So yeah. Will Sony elaborate more on how the PlayStation Vita connects to PS4 during their conference? Will they say second screen, all that stuff? Will they talk about it during the conference? Will a permanent PlayStation Vita price drop be announced?
I don't know because I'm so unconcerned about the Vita, but I would hope so if they plan on doing any business with it.
Yeah. Will a woman speak on stage at any time during Sony's conference? After the dude fest that was PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Will Naughty Dog's new game be announced as a new game in the Uncharted franchise? Will the PS4's price be announced? Will the PS4's specific release date be announced? So same two questions as for Xbox One, same thing for PS4. Specific release date. And will Sony use the words US dollars in their conference?
That one was my suggestion.
Yes, it was. It's a good suggestion. Because if they're talking price, they may just drop it. Anyway, Nintendo. Will Nintendo have less than 3 Nintendo Directs as part of their E3 coverage?
That's a good one.
Less than 3 being 2, 1, or 0. If they have 3 or more, that is a yes. Let's just be very clear on that one.
Yeah.
Less than 3 Nintendo Directs, yes or no. Will Nintendo discuss a game that includes the feature of using 2 Wii U gamepads simultaneously? Will they discuss a game that has that feature? Will we learn of a release window or date for the 3DS and smartphone Miiverse apps?
I forgot about that.
Will we learn of release windows or dates for those two versions, the 3DS and smartphone
See, Microsoft
Miiverse?
separate, not together.
Will Nintendo announce more than 10 new game additions to the 3DS and Wii U eShop? That was supers. And so even if it's not necessarily new games, but just saying, oh, this is a game from the past, we're putting it on eShop. If they discuss it or during E3.
Or just
these
throw them
new
on a
additions.
big cluster F screen,
Yeah, it's something
which
like
I would
that. Yeah.
think it would be more practical.
If there are 10 or more of those, that would be your yes or no. Will Retro Studios' Wii U game finally be announced? Will Nintendo announce a new mainstream Metroid game? That was Super's phrasing as well, but, a new Metroid game. Will Nintendo... I think mainstream means, not something like, Metroid...
Not like free-to-play Mega
or
Man
Metroid,
game.
Right, or, pinball or something like that.
That's true.
Main adventure. Will Nintendo announce a new game for at least one of the following franchises? F-Zero, Star Fox, or Mother?
Come on, Star
At
Fox.
least one. Will there be a trailer of the next Super Smash Bros. Game during the conference? Will Nintendo announce that Wii U's Virtual Console service will feature GameCube games? And finally for Nintendo, will Nintendo use the phrase, up until now, in their conference?
That was mine too. Those were my only 2 contributions.
They are good contributions.
They're oldies but goodies.
Oldies but goodies indeed. Third parties here. So now we're 30 questions in. Here are 10 for third parties. Will Square Enix's planned Final Fantasy game announcement be the next numbered installment, that is 15?
That is such a good one. It's such a mystery.
Will Valve announce a new game for at least one of the following franchises? Half-Life 3, Portal, or Left 4 Dead? Gotta wait for one of those for the 3. Will it happen?
They all have 3s in them, so safe bet on no.
Will Namco either announce a new Tales game or a localization of a Japanese-only release in the Tales franchise?
Come on, Vesperia.
Well, Vesperia is out here.
Well, I want that like super port they did to PS3.
Uh,
They keep talking about.
there is rumor. I'm trying to almost feed the fire here, I guess. It is a contest and all, but there is rumor of a Tales of Symphonia and Symphonia Dawn of the New World HD collection on PS3.
Oh, that'd be big.
There is rumor of that, just saying. Will Respawn Entertainment's new game appear during a press conference? Respawn Entertainment being the Jason Zampella, I think Mark West, the guys who were at Infinity Ward and they had that whole scandal with Activision. Respawn Entertainment is their new studio, rumored to work on a new game. Will it appear during a press conference? Will EA show a gameplay demo for NBA Live 14 during their conference? NBA Live, the struggling franchise the past couple years, like 2 out of the past 3 years, like they said they were going to make it, canceled last minute. Let's see. Oh, Super's back.
Got the end.
Will Wii U be completely absent from EA's conference? I mean, that means
Nothing.
no logos in trailers, no mentions, no anything. Nothing Wii U related. Will it happen in EA's conference? Will there be a demo of Watch Dogs during Ubisoft's conference? Again, this year. Will Level 5 reveal a release date / window for the localization of Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney? Here you go. Will Sega pull the surprise that Sonic will be playable in the next Mario Kart game for Wii U? That's a good one. And finally, for third parties, will a new game be announced that is part of a series whose last game came out more than 10 years ago? So it's the reboot question, as it were. But last year we had 20 years ago. This year we're doing 10 years ago as the window for that. Finally, we have 10 games that are generally vaporware or, games that we wonder maybe they'll get sequels, something like that. We have these 10 games for, is this the year for news regarding Kingdom Hearts 3,
Probably not.
Star Wars Battlefront 3, The Last Guardian, Banjo 3E, Final Fantasy 7 HD, Star Fox on Wii U.
A lot of these are from other years' questions.
Yes, it is. Mirror's Edge 2, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Persona 5, and finally, Agent. And for those that don't know, Agent being the game that Sony talked about during their 2009 conference, that it would be a Rockstar game. They showed a logo, and that's it. But apparently it's still being worked on over at Rockstar, so take that for what it's worth. The tiebreaker question is not yes or no. You'll actually be a number to determine tiebreakers if, there's a tie. The question is, for a numbered answer, how many times will the word PlayStation be said during Sony's E3 conference?
Oh, I wish I saw this. I would have made it. How many times will they say TV during the Xbox one?
You'd hope that would be not as many times at E3.
Yeah, hopefully.
You wonder. Anyway, those are the questions. I know it took an extra 15 minutes of the show, but we'll have them up in blog post form on our forums very soon. And then you can start answering. The deadline for submission will be a few hours before our call-in show in a couple weeks. So you do have time. And I was going to put a question for Konami about will Konami talk about like a release date or window for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, but they're having their pre-E3 show like 6 days early. And I wonder
really?
Yeah, like on the 4th. It's going to be a Thursday night sort of thing, a live stream of their pre-E3 show. So I didn't want to give or seem to have like a unfair advantage or whatever. But then again, Nintendo, it depends how early they do their pre-E3 show. We don't know. So still got to ask questions when they're not.
I thought it was
doing
a couple
big
days.
conference. Well, I mean, they are. It might be. But they're definitely doing one, the day after all of
Mhm.
the different conferences. Because man, that Monday is loaded. It's like almost back to back. Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Sony. It's going to be a full day extravaganza kind of deal.
Oh God.
And then the rest of it will suck.
Exactly.
More or less.
Did you have a very, very quick soapbox that you wanted to talk about now that you're back briefly as we end the
no,
show?
I don't have one.
No. Okay. I just thought
my
I'd
week's
ask.
been a little bit of full.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
My
guess- well, you-
soapbox was my parting comments last.
Yeah, totally.
your car happened.
My
That's
car.
your soapbacks.
Eight backs.
So back.
Xbacks.
Back to one.
Oh
was-
gosh. Well, it's been quite the episode. A lot to talk about. We'll see you next time in a couple weeks for our big E3 Skype call, where you can call in and talk to us about the questions that we'll be discussing here, the likelihood of that happening, but make sure to vote, because that'll be in our forum thread, and we'll have a video, I think, on that, a little soon here. So, with that, I am Yoko,
I'm super.
I'm Tony.
and pre-E3 hype. We're out.